Hi, I'm Lorcan and I'm here with Roisin and we are at the CSPE Teachers Conference and we're here with Mary Lawlor.
Can you tell us a little bit about the work of Frontline Defenders?
Frontline Defenders protects human rights defenders in danger all around the world. Human rights defenders are people who work non-violently for the rights enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and we protect them by training them in security, both personal security and digital security, by giving grants for security such as bulletproof vests, steel doors, walls around offices, torture treatment, medical treatment after torture, lawyers for trials, that kind of thing, and also a lot of advocacy through the UN and the EU and various governments.
We talk a lot today about protecting Irish society from terrorism. Is there a danger that this will result in people losing their human rights?
Yes, I think that the problem about the idea of terrorism is everyone gets really frantic about it, and it is not based on reality very often, because the threat of terrorist attacks around the world are not huge. They're not any bigger than they were, So in Ireland there's a very limited threat. But what we have seen around the world where there have been attacks by terrorists on people, on ordinary civilians, what governments immediately do is they clamp down, they bring in very draconian legislation where people can be lifted without any access to a fair trial or any access to a lawyer or anything like that. So it's a very dangerous moment when there has been a terrorist attack, because governments will respond to the fear in people.
What do you think are the greatest threats to human rights today?
There is a huge backlash at the moment going on against human rights defenders, people who are defending the rights of other people. They're being murdered much more than they used to be. They're being imprisoned to get rid of them so that they can't do their work, because governments and non-state actors like multinational companies who have mining interests or are taking land from indigenous people or whatever, they know that these human rights defenders are very effective in what they're doing, and they're afraid of them. So they're being attacked, as I said, because of that, and also because they are easy to attack. They defame them and they set them up for attack. So that, and also the whole notion of human rights is being eroded around the world at the moment. It's been eroded in a way that I haven't seen for about 20 years.
How can education help to educate young people about human rights?
I think it's hugely important that young people understand what their rights are and their responsibilities to other people, because that forms the basis of a civil and a just society in the future, where you have young thinking people ensuring that society is equal and fair and just.
Who do you think is the greatest defender of human rights nationally and internationally?
Oh, that's a hard one now. There are so many, you see, because many of them you wouldn't have known. But I suppose one of my personal heroes is Dr. Mudawi Ibrahim Adam from Sudan, who's been in prison 6 times. He's just been released from prison, and he's been brutally tortured. He's been held in solitary confinement. He's been held, the last time he told me, he was shackled in the sun when he went on hunger strike to demand a fair trial, or any trial, or to be released. And he's had his teeth broken and everything, and anyway, he's had a lot of physical problems as a result of torture. And he's my personal hero, because he never ever gives up, and he works for the rights of the people in Sudan, both in Darfur and in South Sudan. So he would be one of the ones. He's not my only hero. In Ireland, I have always been taken by Peter McVerry and Sister Stan because of the work that they've always done on homelessness. I think the issue of travellers in Ireland is an area that is shameful. I really am ashamed at the way we treat people from the travelling community. And there's this lovely young woman that I met twice now called Cindy Joyce, who is a traveller. She's doing a PhD in Limerick at the moment, but she's extraordinary. She's only about 22, and her story is extraordinary. She herself suffered multiple discriminations all through her life going to school. Her sister and her brother both committed suicide. Her sister was only 15, couldn't take it anymore, the discrimination. And you all know about the horrible fire that killed all the people, all the travelling people in that place that they were living in. That Cindy would be the person that I now think in Ireland.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.